G'day team, Marty here, back with part 2 of the mini-series on winning commercial cleaning contracts without begging or competing on price. In this one, I'm going to walk you through exactly what to say, do and show when you're actually on site. Because if you do this right, your close rate will soar and your competition won't know what hit them. Before anything else, reset the room. Right? What we want to communicate with the client is, hey, I've blocked out 30 to 40 minutes to go through your cleaning requirements. Is that still good for you? Okay, so we want to make sure that we don't want to rush. If they try and rush you or bail out, hold your ground, right? You're not a quote robot. You're a consultant here to help solve their problem. They're reaching out because they've got a problem to fix. They have to give you the time to do that. A bit of a pro tip is actually make a fuss of turning off your phone in front of them, and it helps signal that they've got your full attention. They say pain is where the sale is made, right? So we need to ask them, well, what's not working right now? What are you unhappy with? Can you give me a specific example? Sometimes they'll just say, oh, look, we're just unhappy with the current cleaning service. You're like, well, give me some specifics, right? Don't just be like just broad statement. There must be specific items that you want some feedback on, right? And then you want to dig on all of those about how's that affecting your team. So if it's dirty bathrooms, well, have your team have you had a lot of staff, people off sick? If it's filthy reception, have you had any clients comment on the cleaning there? How's that affecting your team? And how's that impacting you personally? Like, is that person now having to spend every Monday morning checking the cleaning, or they're getting 4 or 5 messages from their team every day regarding the cleaning? So keep going until you hear an emotional shift from them. That's the moment they go from we're just looking to, oh, you know what, actually now that I really mention it, we need to get this fixed, right? You want to watch for that frustration in their voice. Maybe it's even a bit of embarrassment and just that personal stress, right? That's the pain that justifies your value and not your price. Before you price anything, you've then got to ask, how committed are you to getting this sorted? Right? You want them saying, well, yeah, this is a priority. Look, we've had enough. We need someone reliable and we're ready to make a change. And more importantly, are they willing to pay for that change? Right? Last thing that we want to do is someone to complain about the current service, but still want it cheap and nasty. So don't undercut and meet them at where they are. If they're still unsure, well, you've got to dig deeper into that pain or disqualify, them in a way. Like if this is like, oh, well, we're a bit unhappy, but we're more looking just to see if we can get a better price, then that shouldn't be your target market. Now that the pain and commitment are clear, it's time for the money chat. So you could try this, right? Based on everything you've shared, what's the budget you're working with? If they resist, ask, okay, I get that, but if you did have a number in mind, what would it look like, right? They've always got an idea, and if they don't know the price, it's probably worthwhile asking them, well, could you find out how much you're paying? Because we know that the price is generally built from the time you've estimated for that cleaning to be done. So if they're getting a cheap and nasty quote, then the current cleaners have clearly underquoted the work, right? So you've got to make sure you address that as well. Never give it your price before you've discussed their pain and their budget. If you do, you're just setting yourself up to be compared on that price alone. So now do the site walk, but do it as a collaborator, not a contractor. What I mean by that is, ask what areas cause the most complaints. What are their pet peeves from particular staff or the executives? What are they complaining about? And what's been missed most often? Right, we've got to start to develop that list of things that we need to solve for them. This shows that you care about their experience and not just 4 bathrooms, 3 kitchens, measuring up the floor space, right? And take notes when you do that. Use their language in your notes and try and mirror their concerns. And lastly, try to avoid, though, bagging the existing cleaners. Rather, because we're in the consultative phase, rather make some suggestions on how the current cleaners could possibly do that better. Right, so that actually leads you as a bit more an authority in the space, instead of that you're just bagging the current cleaners to make them look as worse as possible so that you sound as best as possible. They want to work with a consultant or a partner that can help them. Now that you've done your inspection, now you have to bring it all home with your proposal. Your proposal should reaffirm their pain, explain how you solve that pain, and show that credibility from you as a business. You need to include, well, what systems and processes do you have in place for ensuring consistency and reliability? How do you know, or what proof of service do you collect? Do your team follow cleaning checklists? Are there any guarantees? Right? A pro tip here is to remember that the decision maker may have not met you, right? So people still only tend to buy off people that they like, right? If someone doesn't like you, they're not going to buy off you, doesn't matter how good the product is. So add a short video walkthrough to your proposal. Even if it's just a Loom video walking through the PDF, it really adds a human touch and it will help boost that conversion rate. If you want to learn how to build proposals that close contracts for you, even when you're not in the room, then jump into the Cleaning Contract Conversion System program, part of the Fresh Ops Academy entry program. You'll learn how to nail your walkthrough, ask deeper questions, build that high converting professional proposal, and really help you stand out from the Word doc warriors. So check out the details in the description. But that wraps up our 2-part series on how to stop chasing quotes and start winning contracts with confidence. If you got value from this, hit the like, drop a comment, and let me know what you'll look at implementing on your next walkthrough. Until next time, go out there and build a cleaning business that runs without you.